I don't have tea. I can't do a tea library video without tea. Hold the phone. I'll be back. Got my tea now. We're set. It's very hot though. So, welcome to the tea library. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos. It is so hot. Today I am going to review a book that I don't actually have in my possession. I don't have it because I borrowed it from the library. I know. Shocking. I support local libraries. This is, however, a book that I would like to purchase. So, at some point I may have a copy of it in my possession. The book is called Not Your Sidekick, and it's written by an author named C.B. Lee. This book was recommended to me on a list of books featuring bisexual characters. But the book does so much more than that. Yes, one of the characters in the book is bisexual. Well, I say one of the characters, at least one of the characters, because there are other characters we just straight up don't know about. My favorite thing about this book is that the bisexual representation and all the other representation that happens in this book is not a plot point. So our main character, Jess, is bisexual. She's Asian American. Her parents were immigrants. And none of these are plot points. That has nothing to do with the story. It's just sort of there. And I love stories that give me people of color or LGBTQ plus people just to have them there. So let's get a little bit of background on this book. It's set in a slightly futuristic world, not too far future. I'm struggling to remember the date. I apologize. I should have this on hand while doing a review. Anyways, set in the future after solar flares. And the solar flares created superpowers in humans. So in this world, superpowers are common. Everybody's a superhero. Well, not everybody. Most people. Not even most people. Some people. A lot of people. Who knows? But anyways, you've got superheroes cropping up left, right, and center. And they've split up the people with superpowers into heroes and villains. And that's where our central conflict comes from. This divide between hero and villain, and what makes you a hero, what makes you a villain, and is the system flawed? So that's a basic summary of the conflict in the book without giving too much away. Anyway, so the story is about Jess, who's in high school. She's bi, she's Asian, and she has two best friends, and she has a crush. And like, I'm here for a good girl crush. But Jess isn't the only LGBTQ person in the novel. At one point they revealed to us that one of her best friends is trans. But the way they do it isn't by making a big deal out of it. They just literally have Jess mention to her friend that he's been wearing a binder all day. And I'm like, yes, this is how you introduce people. Don't make a big deal out of it. So I had a bit of a fangirl moment when I read that. It was beautiful. I think I went back and read it about 5 times. So definitely got a trans character, definitely got a bi character. There's another character who is definitely attracted to girls. Don't think her sexuality was revealed, and it doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. You know, she's a girl, she likes girls. Great. That narrows it down to, like, not straight. That's enough for me. I'm happy. Anyway, so this book takes us on a wild ride of Jess and her friends fighting the fight against the government, basically. It's a good time. They're teenagers and they're fighting the government. So it's very much YA in that respect, where they are young adults, but they're facing a task that might be a little bit above them, but they've got the drive to do it. And that's just the thing about YA novels that I love, is that yes, it's slightly unrealistic that teenagers are going to take on the government, But if teenagers don't, then nobody else will. Because teenagers have got the drive to do things. They've got all that raw emotion to just power through and do something impossible because they don't believe in the word impossible. So this book is the first book in, I believe, a trilogy called The Sidekick Squad. The second book is called Not Your Villain. And the third book is called Not Your Backup, and it's slated for release next year, and I'm so excited to read it. I love these characters. I love this world. It's amazing. I gave Not Your Sidekick a review of 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Knocked off that 1 star because there were plot points that I found very predictable, which I don't mind. Sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of predictability. But definitely I was like, I feel like this character is this. And then they were. But predictability is not always bad. I just found there were maybe a few too many things that were predictable. The second book, Not Your Villain, had less predictability. So I liked that. If you are looking for a young adult book with great representation and superpowers, go read Not Your Sidekick. It is amazing. That's all I have to say really about this book. I loved it. It was amazing. Go read it. There's something else I normally do with tea library videos. Maybe I should mention, I'm just going to throw this in right at the end of my video. So my apartment is currently a hot mess. There is stuff everywhere. You might see some weird things behind me. That's cool. My roommate and I are in the middle of a move, so this may end up actually being the last video that I film in this apartment. It's kind of sad. We've lived here a year, but also kind of exciting because our new apartment is so much nicer. So much nicer. So I'm super excited to show it to you, and I hope you enjoyed this review of Not Your Sidekick. I hope you go out and read it. I don't know if I'll do a review for Not Your Backup because I kind of touched on it a little bit here. I meant to say Not Your Villain. I always get that messed up. Not Your Villain is the second book. I haven't read Not Your Backup because it's not released. Anyways, folks, I'm going to go edit this video. I will see you when I see you. Bye, everyone.